Hey, party people, it's Cliff. I just got my meal from McDonald's, and I did realize that I shouldn't be showing my credit card on camera. Oh man, so that's I was knee deep into all the philosophy and everything this morning, but not anymore. We are heading to work. It is early in the morning actually, and surprisingly, not doing too bad. Not doing too bad at all. Hey, I got the little gimbal thing on the camera to work so it doesn't like fall down. So that's a bonus. It's not going to keep on going down, which is hilarious. Um, but no, before kind of the mishap, I was thinking of Christopher Nolan's Odyssey. The new trailer came out yesterday, and I watched it. I thought it was all right. Like whatever. I am not the kind of person that is the historical like movies, but at the same time, if I watched it, I'd probably enjoy it. Now here's the thing is that I'm kind of done in my life with being negative and negativity and all of that stuff, and I guess I got no time for it, right? They say life is short, right? Like when you hit 16, somebody says life is short and you're like, I don't care, I got my entire life ahead of me. When you're 26, you kind of get the saying, but you really don't think about it because you're 26. Like you just got out of college, you're going to explore the world, you're living dangerously, you're figuring out like who you are and yourself and blah blah blah. And then, when you hit 36 and you say life is short, you're saying like, oh yeah, well, life is short. I got a family right now and, got a couple of kids. Everything's doing all right. And then when you hit 46 and people say life is short, that's when it kind of hits you. It hits you, and then you're like, oh yeah, like I don't have a lot of time left to do the things that I wanted to do, or, missed opportunities or whatever. And, like there's people online who are going after this trailer and saying it's terrible, it looks fake, it's AI. Oh my gosh, there's so many actors in it that I've seen from other places before, and the suspension of disbelief is just not believable. And like Matt Damon is there, which is a hilarious thing, but I saw a couple of news articles of people just ragging on the trailer, like, oh, Christopher Nolan's lost his way. It's not going to be a good movie. All these actors seem fake with their roles and this and that. And I'm just like, man, if you're going to be negative like this, like why even bother? And I know what it is, right? Because new trailer comes out, everybody watches it, there's probably a group of people out there that are going to boycott it because of some, religion or some, faith-based whatever, and or it's not representing like this person or that person in the Odyssey of how you remembered it, I mean, I remember when Beowulf came out, right? Like, in the 2000s, I think it's in the 2000s. The same thing, same rhetoric. Oh, it's going to be terrible, and the director doesn't know what he's doing, and everybody's blah, 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 blah. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, all right, think about it this way. You have a director who can command an unlimited budget to make a movie, with all the latest, like, camera gear that's going to filter down into all the other cameras out there and into your phone, and in the next 3 or 4 generations of phones. He's gonna tell the most classic story ever, the Odyssey, which arguably could in other words, nobody's making a movie about the Odyssey unless somebody like a Christopher Nolan wants to. And all the actors want to be with Christopher Nolan because all the actors want to be with great directors. It's funny, I'll say this name, which is a terrible person, Harvey Weinstein, but in a particular lesson, the reason why he was so renowned in Hollywood, before all the shit happened with him, was that he had this, there was this hierarchy. And so this hierarchy was like, all the best, all the best writers want to write the best books. Or like, how to say this? All the best directors want to work with the best writers. All the best actors want to work with the best directors. All the best crew into making the films want to work with the best actors. And in that sort of hierarchy, that's how this sort of works, right? Like the studios can look at a James Cameron and look at a Christopher Nolan, and they can walk into a room and just say, hey, like, this is the kind of movie I want to do. Now, granted, there's always a lot of nuance with that. Like, they have to have a script, they have to have concept art. They can't just go in there willy-nilly and say, like, I want to do this, give me X amount of money. Like, maybe they're strong enough to, like, get maybe 100 or 200K to make, like, a short concept film, to make a short idea. But really, these big studios, and think about it this way, right? The Odyssey has a story that has been told time after time after time. It is a story that is repeated, and Hollywood does not like to have stories that are repeated, because stories that are repeated are old, and old things people do not want to watch, because people want to watch new things. Now, there's a nuance there too. People want to watch new things that are both old and familiar, and are both fresh and refreshing, right? Project Hail Mary, perfect example. It's a space movie, but there's a couple little things different, right? I mean, look, it's also an isolation movie, right? Alien, that Brad Pitt movie that came out, Ad Astra, that came out, or any type of, like, isolationist, like, space movie. They're always that, but it's like a little twist. But anyway, the only way that a studio will greenlight this kind of movie with an unlimited budget is, first, you have a director that has a name, Christopher Nolan, check. You have a whole cast of actors that is going to draw in an audience from every part of the genre spectrum, every part of the Hollywood spectrum, right? You like Charlize Theron, she's in the Odyssey, you should go watch it. You like Matt Damon, he's in the Odyssey, you should go watch it. You like Spider-Man, he's in there. You like all these other actors and everybody, like, you should go watch it. So this is a tentpole film, and these films are like, big money gets spent on them because the studio is making a gamble on everyone's name, and in order to make that gamble, in order to make their money back, right? So here's the thing, is that when big movies like this, like, start to get greenlit, there's a whole list of, like, check requirements, that you have to have. And so Christopher Nolan can go in there and say, like, hey, I want to do the Odyssey. And the network executives were like, Chris, we love you. You've done good work for us before. We'll give you a chance. No problem. And then Chris Nolan goes out and, like, contacts all his friends, and you say, like, hey, I'm doing the Odyssey. Do you want to do it? And all the actors say yes. They're not going to say yes to me, They're not going to say yes to my, like, little student film in my, like, brain, They're not going to say yes to, somebody else. They're going to say yes to him because he's got the track record. And the only way the movie gets funded is when everybody signs a contract of saying, like, yes, I am attached to this film. That's when the money, like, goes. And then that's when the executives are like, venture capitalists. They're not called venture capitalists. They're called, like, investors or whatever into the film. And then those investors who have big money, like, they, or sponsorships or anything, all that money flows into the film. People get, tickets to the premiere. They get to meet the actors and the actresses. Like, it's a whole big thing. It's a whole production. I mean, you think about it, like a mom and pop company, like, in your small town that maybe makes, $500,000-$600,000 a year. Like, $500,000 or $600,000 maybe would probably pay for 1/8 the catering of these kind of films, right? Like, the Odyssey, the budget is probably going to come out. It's probably going to be a $250 million budget. But it's like, yeah, it's like $250 million. Like, that's, making one film like that is going to be, more, it's going to be more money than more money's being spent on like the capital expenditures of like some small countries. And when you put it into that way, and you look at people and they're like, oh, it looks fake and it's this and it's whatever. Hey, like, you don't have to watch it. Like, I'm like I said earlier, like, I'm not gonna watch it. Like, I know that if I go and watch it, maybe, I'll take that back. If my friends say, like, hey, we're all gonna go see the audio as a big group, I'm like, totally cool, I'll buy a ticket, I'll go watch it. Am I gonna go watch it by myself? No. Like, that's not my cup of tea. Now, I went and watched Project Hail Mary with a couple of friends. I would have watched that by myself because that's my genre. And there's nothing wrong with just saying, like, hey, you know what? Like, I don't think it looks good. It looks like AI. Like, I have my opinions. I'm not gonna go watch it. But you know what happens though is that all of these people who complain and bitch and moan about the movie and it's not real and it's not whatever, they're gonna go watch it. They're gonna go watch it because those kind of folks, and nothing wrong with, and yes and no, nothing wrong with this, right? I always say nothing wrong with this. Like, you behave however you want to behave. I don't know if this guy's like, crossing into my lane or whatever. But here's how you want to behave is that, or not behave, is this is the behavior of those people. It's like, they're going to go watch it, and then they're going to say, oh, I watched it, it was terrible. Oh, you shouldn't go watch it. And I'm like, you just lost. You know how you win this argument? You don't go watch the movie. And that's kind of like how Hollywood works. Like, if a movie is, supposedly great and nobody goes and watches it, like, all these network executives, like, make a little mental note. They may make a little mental note in their head, and they say, hey, like, you know what? Like, that movie that, we spent $200 million on, it only made $5 million. We lost a whole bunch. We write it off on taxes, and we move on. Like, nobody wants to watch that movie again. Right? And I even, like, and there's even, and that's the thing, is, like, you forget about these movies. I think The Gods of Egypt was a movie. Look up that one, Gods of Egypt. Nobody cared about that. There's this new Anthony Mackie movie that was made by Saudi Arabia or whatever, or China or India or one of those other countries. Like, spent $250 million on it. Nobody watched it. Nobody cared. And that's the gamble, right? And so you could argue Barbra Streisand effect, where a negative opinion is still positive, or negative news is still positive news. And rightfully so. Even me talking about it is like giving it some sort of, like, blessing, I guess. But at the end of the day, I'm just like, me personally, like, as I grow older, as I grow wiser, as I try to make sense of the world and do all that stuff, like, I just make a quick decision. I'm like, hey, you know what? Honestly, it would have been cool. Like, probably would be a good movie. I'd watch it at some point, but I'm not going to spend money to watch it. Maybe I will. Depends. But not right now. Like, did the trailer do it for me? I'm like, the trailer is the trailer. Like, I'm sure it'll be good. I'm sure that people who love those history pieces, history stories of fiction, who've watched, like, every single version of Beowulf and Romeo and Juliet and all these classical literature, like, things turned into movies, like, they're gonna watch it. They're gonna, it's gonna get watched. I don't know why this guy's tailgating me. It's like, calm down. You're not getting anywhere. There's traffic filled up with everything. I don't know. People are too stressed. They complain too much. Like, I don't get it. It's like, stop complaining, start putting your foot down, start getting to work, start doing things, one foot in front of the other, move on, and that's life. And you can talk, and you can, and I think that's the other thing too, is like, I do this video series for my sister and try to, like, make things work or whatever. All right, fine. Tesla, you want to go? Be my guest. I'm going to slow down. I'm going to let you go. He's going to come over to the left lane. There he goes. He's going to try to get around this Mustang because he's got He's got a hole burning in his pocket, as my dad would always say. Oh, good. Look at this. You hit the red light. Oh, that's a damn shame. Oh, man. You know, like, everybody's worried. Everybody's got this, like, you know, not woe is me, but I really wish I could, like, download some information into folks' brains and be like, hey, you know what? It's not bad. Do you have running water? Like, at least I'm talking in you know, in the States. It's like, if you're watching this on a phone, it's like, you're doing a lot better than a lot of people the rest of the world. That's all I gotta say. I'm gonna take a sip of my soda. Silly soda. Destroy my body. I bet this Tesla guy is gonna take off. It's not even like a Plaid or whatever. It's just like a normal one. It's fine. It's whatever. Tesla bro can do whatever Tesla bro wants. I'd rather be the fella over to the right of me driving a Toyota Corolla, because that's how you save money. You don't save money by buying a Tesla, unfortunately. Maybe there's an argument where gas prices are at their high right now, but no. But anyway, I'm getting towards work, and but yeah, I just think, like, man, just if you're gonna complain, that's fine, you know. But I'd rather you look at things in a positive light. And I mean, like, the Oddesey got made. That's hard to do in this day and age. It's hard to give a lot of money to a story that's been told 1,000 times. All right, have a good one, and be safe out there. Bye.